You know those nights, those really clear nights,
Mm-hmm.
when you look up at the moon and it feels so close, you could almost just reach out and touch it.
Mm-hmm.
I always catch myself wondering what it would actually be like to be up there looking back at us. And, well, we can stop wondering. I've been digging through NASA's flight manifests, trajectory papers, crew interviews.
And the message is pretty clear.
It is. For the first time since 1972, we are leaving low Earth orbit. We're actually going back.
And we aren't just, going for a quick visit this time. This is Artemis II, scheduled for launch around February 2026. And looking at the mission profile, it's so much more than just a sequel to Apollo.
Right, in the sources, they kept calling it the definitive systems integration exam.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, that's just a polite way of saying it's a massive shakedown cruise, isn't it? A final exam for everything before we really commit.
That's it exactly. It's the test for the hardware, the software, and maybe most importantly, the humans. So what we're looking at is a 10-day mission.
10 days, and they aren't landing. Not this time.
No, this is a lunar flyby. They'll launch on that enormous Space Launch System rocket, do a couple of orbits of Earth to make sure everything's working, and then they make the burn for the moon.
I was looking at that flight path, and it's a free return trajectory, right?
It is.
So gravity is basically doing the driving for them.
That's the perfect way to put it. They fly roughly 10,000 kilometers beyond the moon, and the moon's gravity just naturally grabs them and slingshots them right back toward Earth.
So it's a massive safety feature.
It's the ultimate safety feature. Even if their main engines totally failed out there in deep space, physics brings them home.
That is a relief. But getting onto that path must be tricky. I read about this maneuver, the multi-trans-lunar injection. Why is that so important?
So it all comes down to a problem called hydrogen boil-off.
Okay.
Think of their fuel, liquid hydrogen, like an ice cube on a hot sidewalk. It's literally evaporating every single second they're in orbit. If they wait too long, they won't have enough gas in the tank to get to the moon.
Ah, so you're just in a race against physics to keep your tank full.
Precisely. So they use the main rocket to get most of the way out, and then the European service module gives them that final kick into trajectory. It ensures they escape Earth's gravity before the tank runs dry.
Speaking of the hardware, the crew's flying in the Orion capsule, which they've named Integrity.
Right. And attached to that is the European Service Module, the ESM-2. That's their lifeline, really. It's the powerhouse providing all the electricity and air.
And the 4 people trusting that lifeline are, an incredible team. You've got Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover.
Then the mission specialists, Christina Koch, who already holds the record for the longest spaceflight by a woman, and Jeremy Hansen from the Canadian Space Agency.
Which makes him the first non-American to ever go to deep space. That is a huge, huge moment.
It really is.
But before they even leave Earth orbit, they're doing this test that just sounds absolutely wild to me. They're going to manually fly the spacecraft.
They are. They call it a proximity operations demonstration. But what it really means is they're going to practice parallel parking the spaceship next to the spent rocket stage.
While moving at 17,000 miles per hour.
Yes. They have to prove they can dock manually, just in case the automatic systems fail on a future mission when they're trying to connect to a gateway or a lander.
Really just highlights that balance between human skill and automation, doesn't it? You need both to be perfect. And, if you're trying to find that same balance in your own work, you should really look at our sponsor, Embersilk.
That's a great point. Whether you need help with AI training, software development, or just figuring out where AI agents can make the biggest impact for your business or even just your personal life, Embersilk is the place to check out.
Absolutely. Visit them at embersilk.com for your AI needs. So back to Artemis. Why does this specific mission matter so much? Why not just go straight for the landing?
Because of the life support. This is the can we actually keep humans alive out there test. We've run the Environmental Control and Life Support System, the ECLSS, on the ground, but never with 4 actual people breathing, sweating, generating humidity for 10 days straight.
And if something goes wrong, there's no quick way back.
Exactly. And the return trip itself is another massive test. They are coming in so much faster than crews from the International Space Station.
Right. They'll hit the atmosphere at something like 11 kilometers per second.
The heat from that is just intense. They absolutely have to prove this new heat shield design can take it before we ever risk sending a crew to land.
It really feels like this is the bridge to everything that comes next.
That is the perfect way to frame it. Artemis II validates the tech for Artemis III's landing. And if you look further down the road, this is the blueprint, the training ground for missions to Mars. We are building the foundation for a multi-planetary future right now.
It's an incredible time to be alive and watching the sky. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please subscribe to the show. And hey, leave us a 5-star review if you can. It really does help get the word out. Thanks for tuning in.
And as you go about your day, just keep this image in your mind. That Integrity capsule splashing down safely in the Pacific, having paved the way for a permanent human return to the moon. The future really is bright.